Hi. The Rwanda Genocide was a horrific event that took place in 1994 in Rwanda, a country located in East Africa. Genocide was conceived by extremist elements of Rwanda's majority Hutu population who planned to kill the minority Tutsi population and anyone who opposed those genocidal intentions. The primary ethnic groups in Rwanda are the Hutu and the Tutsi, making up more than 4/5 and about 1/7 of the total population, respectively. The Twa, a third group, represent less than 1% of the population. These groups share a common language, Kinyarwanda, indicating a history of coexistence spanning centuries. Historically, significant social disparities existed between the Hutu and the Tutsi, evident in the system of patron-client relationships known as buhake. This system, rooted in the Tutsis' robust pastoralist heritage, allowed them to achieve social, economic, and political dominance over the primarily agrarian Hutu population. The difference between the two groups was not always immediately apparent. However, it all started to change when Europeans colonized Rwanda. During their colonial rule, the Germans introduced identity cards that categorized Rwandans into ethnic groups based on physical characteristics. This practice was later intensified by the Belgians, who took control of Rwanda after World War I. This categorization exacerbated existing ethnic tensions between the Hutu, Tutsi, and Twa populations. The Belgians favored the Tutsis, viewing them as more advanced and giving them preferential treatment, which exacerbated social divisions and resentment among the Hutu majority. Demanding equality, some Hutu found support from Roman Catholic clergy and certain Belgian administrative personnel, sparking the Hutu Revolution. This movement commenced with an uprising on November 1, 1959, triggered by rumors of a Hutu leader's death at the hands of Tutsi assailants, prompting Hutu groups to initiate attacks against the Tutsi population. Months of violence ensued, resulting in numerous Tutsi casualties and displacements. On January 28, 1961, a Hutu coup, tacitly endorsed by Belgian colonial authorities, ousted the Tutsi king and dissolved the monarchy. Rwanda transitioned into a republic, and an interim national government dominated by Hutus was established. The following year, Rwanda formally declared independence. The transition from Tutsi to Hutu rule was marked by violence and upheaval. Between 1959 and 1961, approximately 20,000 Tutsis were killed, and many others fled the country. Tensions between Hutus and Tutsis resurfaced in 1990, when rebels of the Tutsi-led Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, launched an invasion from Uganda. A ceasefire was brokered in early 1991, leading to negotiations between the RPF and the government of President Juvenal Habyarimana, a Hutu, in 1992. In August 1993, an agreement was signed between the RPF and the government, aiming to form a transitional government inclusive of the RPF. However, this plan faced strong opposition from Hutu extremists. These extremists intensified the dissemination of their anti-Tutsi propaganda, which had already been circulating widely through newspapers and radio stations for several years, contributing to the escalation of ethnic violence. On the evening of April 6, 1994, a plane carrying President Habyarimana of Rwanda and President Ntaryamira of Burundi was shot down over Kigali, resulting in the deaths of all passengers on board. Despite ongoing investigations, the identity of those responsible for firing upon the plane remains uncertain. Allegations suggesting involvement of RPF leaders have been made, but never definitively confirmed. Following the plane crash, organized violence targeting Tutsis and moderate Hutus commenced immediately, orchestrated by extremist Hutu factions. The following day, Prime Minister Agathe Uwilingiyimana, a moderate Hutu, was assassinated, along with 10 Belgian soldiers who were part of a United Nations peacekeeping contingent tasked with protecting her. In the aftermath, a period of lawlessness and mass slaughter unfolded, with both the military and Hutu militia factions assuming central roles. Radio broadcasts intensified the genocide by urging Hutu civilians to eliminate their Tutsi neighbors, labeling them as cockroaches, deserving of extermination. Approximately 200,000 Hutus are believed to have participated in the genocide, although the army and militia groups coerced some. The methods of killing were often brutal, involving the use of crude implements to bludgeon or hack victims. Rape was also systematically employed as a weapon, with assailants deliberately infected with HIV/AIDS to spread the virus to Tutsi women. The RPF, rejecting the legitimacy of the extremist Hutu interim government installed in April, resumed fighting. By early July, they had successfully gained control over most of the country, ultimately capturing Kigali on July 4th. Fleeing the country were the extremist Hutu leaders, including those of the interim government. On July 19th, a transitional government of national unity was established, with Hutu leader Pastor Bizimungu as president and RPF leader Paul Kagame, a Tutsi, serving as vice president. With this, the genocide came to an end. During the genocide, more than 800,000 civilians, primarily Tutsis, lost their lives. However, some estimates, including those from the Rwandan government, suggest even higher casualties. Once the genocide was over, the rebuilding and recovery process started in the country. Large number of people involved in the genocide were put on trial. Government's primary focus was to promote national unity and punish perpetrators of the genocide. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There will be more informative videos like this in the future, so stay tuned.